Hi, this orientation video for English 1301 is going to focus on going to class and actually doing our first assignment, which happens to be one of those Smart Start assignments that you need to turn in to, in a sense, secure your enrollment in the class. It's like attending class the first day. So here we are at the San Antonio College homepage. Your first step to go to class is to log into ACES. You could do it from the SAC homepage, and you see there's the login, or maybe you've bookmarked our class homepage, which is here, and you could get in that way. So I'm going to log in. And once we're logged in, there's different pathways you can use to get to our class. You could go to this little kind of quick link to Canvas on the right, and it'll show up your dashboard. You could also click on My Courses and select the appropriate semester, and your classes all show up, and then you go to our class. And that's kind of how you go to class. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the student view, which will be a little bit more like yours. I haven't quite published the class, and that's why it has this setup thing at the top. And so what we're going to talk about here is three things. All right, how do you know what your assignments are? How do you know when they're due? Like when do I have to turn them in by? Because if they're late, there's no credit. And where do I post them? So there's a couple ways to know. I'm going to start with when assignments are due. And so when you're in Canvas, and this is kind of the way that I'll first tell you the way that I don't recommend that you do. At least there's a pitfall here. So a lot of people, when they go into Canvas, especially if you're taking multiple classes, use this Canvas calendar a lot. It has listed the assignments and when they're due, which is great. It's a very handy calendar. You can click on that assignment, and it actually takes you, well, I thought it took you to the actual assignment inside Canvas. There we go. And you can do your assignment. But look, like there is no assignment there. So that's why it might take you where you're going to turn things in, but you need to look at a different place to see where the actual assignments are. So I'm going to go back to our course homepage, and let's look at another way in which you see the calendar of our assignments. See this link to the assignment calendar of due dates? Make it a bit bigger. And there it lists all the assignments. Let's do it another way. The course homepage, there's a calendar, and you can click. And that's what I recommended that you print and put into your notebook. Maybe I'm old-fashioned about print things, but you'll see that it has, from the strands of work, you know what these mean: the editing, grammar, writing exercise, the process journals, the free writing journal, the first draft of essay 1, the second draft, the final draft. That's got all the due dates. And those should match that same calendar that's in Canvas. So either way will work, but that's how you know what is due and when it's due. So let's go and kind of figure out, well, where do we find out what the assignments are? So when we're looking at our class homepage, or the Canvas homepage, there's this link to the essay cycle assignment sheets. And that takes me to this page, And here is our essay cycle assignment sheet. Another path to get you to the same thing from the class homepage. There is a link to essays in the essay cycle assignment sheet. Quite frequently in the class announcements, I will link to the essay cycle assignment sheet. There it is. So here we are and notice I put a little calendar in for that essay cycle. And we see that our first assignment, the Editing Grammar Writing Exercise 1, is due on Thursday the 19th. And so as I go through the essay cycle assignment sheet, it has everything that we're going to need to do for the class. And there is the EGW1. So it explains the assignment, and it actually has the guidance on what to do. In this case, EGW1 is an assignment to kind of write about yourself, to share a little bit about you as a kind of profile. Maybe you've done profiles in other communities, online communities, and I've got some guidance on things to write. You don't have to list in your response. Please write it out in full sentences and paragraphs. You don't even have to hit everything that's on there. Those are just there to kind of prompt you with things that you could write. And generally I have pretty clear instructions, so you need to read these assignments carefully. Quite often, like this weekend, you'll get to the process journal. Here's the instructions for the topic. There's a little bit more. There's a link to explore. So you may print the essay cycle assignment sheet, which I actually recommend. It may be a little handier as you're working, but don't forget that there are these links in there that you may want to follow. In many cases, you need to follow them to do the work. So let's go, let's imagine that I've done my EGW1 and I've written it. There's my EGW1 about me. And now I'm going to save that on my own computer, and then I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go into our Canvas class, and I'm going to go to modules. That's where all the places you're going to turn things in are. And we've got the first module, the Smart Start module, and there's the assignment, EGW number 1. And I'll go in there and see how it's got this little reply box there. It's kind of small. I'll click into that, and then that's where I paste there's then the post reply. Let me make it a bit bigger. If I need to do any kind of editing in here, I'm able to, and then I'll click post reply. And you should be able to see that your reply shows up there. So that's how you go to class. A lot of our work is going to be turned in that way, where you copy and paste. With the essays, you'll generally, the final drafts, you'll upload those as a file. So let's kind of reiterate just the kind of 3 things about going to class. I'm going to go back to the home. The way you know when things are due is by viewing the calendar. The place where you find the assignments is in the essay cycle assignment sheets. And that's got detailed instructions. And I would encourage you to do one at a time, and then the place where you turn things in is here in the modules. So make sure you get the whole Smart Start module completed by the due date, and that will secure your enrollment in the class. It tells me you've attended the first class and you're ready to go. So that completes this orientation about a video about going to class and doing the first assignment.